It's about nutrition in neurodivergence. We are basically discussing a revolutionary, how do I say, approach to supporting individuals with neurodivergent conditions based on uh, life experience, based on uh, academic acquisition, based on practice. Over 10 years, this has been accumulated, and tonight we are bringing it to the forefront to just, we have put it together as a course and we are bringing it to the public. And this is nutritional management in neurodivergent children. When it comes to children with neurodivergent condition, we have come to realize over the years that I would say they are complicated. That would be like an insult, but I would say that as they are diverse in their situation, in their condition, so is their requirement, so is their biological, should I say, there's also biological diversity. As just as there is physical diversity, there is biological diversity. And that is why we always say that when children approach like the mainstream support, people are usually a little bit lost, or they just offer you the standard care, which at the end of the day will seem like it is not, producing the required result. Take for instance, a child with autism is going through um, a prolonged constipation, and the situation is that the supporting physician kept offering him Miralax, something that will relax the muscles. And this went on for so long, for so long. And the child really became, and it didn't stop because the child was still impacted, severely impacted. The mom would have to use physical, chemical, anything else to bring out, the things that need to come out. And that is because when these children are going through this process, they are assumed to be like every other person. They are perceived to be like every other person. But the truth is that they are different. They are so different in their physiology that you will be shocked that what makes one feel good can actually hurt another. Thank you, Bridget, Ojuolape, Cheryl. Welcome to our live program. So we are saying that in this program, in this course, we are going to be teaching parents or therapists or whatever you do that has to do with children with special needs, that has to do with neurodivergent children. We are going to be teaching about the basics of functional nutrition. Functional nutrition is the kind of nutrition that looks at the foundation. It looks at what is it that causes a condition, not just looking at the symptoms. Take, for instance, the story I was just telling earlier. In the mainstream nutrition, the child would be looked at like, okay, you have a constipation. But in functional nutrition, the child will be seen as, okay, you have a constipation. What is not functioning that is causing this constipation? It could be as a result of something like mitochondrial dysfunction, which makes the muscle weak, that it cannot contrast very well. It could be as a result of lack of fiber in their food. It could be as a result of nutrient malabsorption. It could be as a result of so many things. It could also be as a result of maybe dehydration. It can be a lot of things. And eventually, as we found out at the end, for this child that I'm still using as like a subject case, a case study, we found out that this child, either because he has started earlier or because he started as a result of the overload of medication, we realized that this child has gut inflammation. We realized that he was having even holes in his stomach walls. So in this case, you don't just go ahead to treat constipation. You don't just go ahead to treat diarrhea, for instance. You have to look at why this is happening in the first place. So the first module is going to talk about the foundations of functional nutrition. So in that foundation of functional nutrition, you are going to look at what are those things that ought to be in place for a child to function, for a child to even begin to, create the right environment for food to take effect. Because we know a lot of children are even having maybe things like leaky gut, things like nutrient malabsorption, things like, just even picky eating, food allergies. And then when you approach maybe a mainstream professional, what they need to tell you, okay, even if it's a nutritionist, they will just give you like, go and eat so type of food, without knowing if there were things that need to be enhanced, if there were things that need to be restored before the food you are giving can even work better. Now, after that, we are going to look at foundations of biomedical intervention. When parents look at biomedical intervention, they know any parent that has been in this journey for over a year will know and appreciate when anyone says biomedical intervention. Because biomedical intervention simply means intervention using natural, ingredients, natural things. It could be herbs, it could be supplements, it could be food, it could be removing some things from the environment, it could be adding some things in the environment, it could be things that target detoxification, it could be things that enhance nutrient utilization, it could be things that would support immune function, it could be things that detoxifies the body. So when we talk about biomedical, biomedical means biological based but medical in function. So on this course, we are going to really break down what are these things that forms the basis of biomedical intervention. Then we are also going to navigate through allergen-free diets. When we talk about allergen-free, parents in this area would also believe that allergy is all about gluten and casein. No, it is not so. A lot of times when we perform the food allergy test, we see children who are even allergic to things like ginger, things like onions, things like tomatoes. There's a child that's allergic to even rice, allergic to potato. One child is allergic to rice, is allergic to sweet potato, is allergic to Irish potato, is allergic to all of these things. So we were like, what is he going to eat at the end of the day? What is this child going to eat? But the truth is that that allergy is just a reaction to something else. And these are things that parents need to know, because when a child is allergic to so many things like that, it's very, very detrimental to their health. Because at each stage, every child deserves to eat as varied diet as possible. And by the time you restrict this diet to the things that the child is tolerating at that particular point, it's going to reduce the diversity of the child's diet. And when this is reduced, you are also shortchanging what you need to supply the child to be able to develop. You are looking for growth and development here, but then you find out that this child cannot have varied diet. So what we usually do is that when you find out these things, you look at what are the root causes, in the sense that at some point when people would have seen the root causes and addressed it, you realize that the child can actually receive more and more and more varied kind of diet. And that makes life a lot easier for parents, because it's really difficult navigating a lot of dietary restrictions just because your child is allergic to them. So that is going to be module 3. And then on module 4, we are going to look at food coding, labels, and additives. Food coding, labels, and additives. Food coding is simply saying that in food there is a kind of coding where you see that maybe a color, maybe you see a label on a food and you see E25, and then you see E2245. All these are codes, and if you are not in that space, you will just see it as what's even this one, and then you take a walk. So but the truth is, these are codes, and knowing it can make a whole lot of difference on your diet, on what you buy and what you do not buy. So knowing the codes in the food labels is a very important step in living healthy, because a lot of times you buy this food without even knowing what is in there. And when you don't know what is in there, you just go ahead and consume things that might be detrimental to your health. And remember, everyone is not equal when it comes to detoxification, especially these children with autism. A lot of them do not do well with detoxification. So you have to be really careful about the kind of food you feed them. So if you do not know the food codes, you just go about picking food and putting in your trolley and bringing them home and feeding them. At the end of the day, you might be feeling like you are supplying your child with the good food, with healthy, expensive food, but you don't even know that you're already harming such child. So the fact remains that for you to make good progress with this journey, for you to really understand what it takes to modify diets, you need to know how to read your labels. Without knowing the labels, you might as well be shooting yourself on the foot. Temilade? Hello? Okay, so we are just saying that understanding the label, understanding the code, understanding all the terminologies that we use in labeling food is the first step towards good nutrition. You might be given, for instance, a food that is a plan that tries to exclude preservatives and probably colors and probably flavors, certain colors, and certain preservatives. Remember, your meal plan is usually based on your medical test. So with this, this is what your body said, not what anyone said. So your body says, I do not wish to have things like colors. I do not wish to have things like preservatives. I do not wish to have things like certain antioxidants. And then you just go ahead and keep eating them just because you don't know the code. Just because you don't even know how to identify them when you see them in your food. So knowing the code, reading the label, knowing what every code represents is a first step towards getting your diet right. It doesn't just stop at having a plan or having a test done or, eating balanced diet, whatever that is. Whatever that is, actually. So, your first step towards getting it right is knowing what the package says. Because believe me or not, it's a difficult, very difficult route to take to say you won't eat anything in a package. Yes, it's a possible route, but a very difficult one. So from time to time, you might still require to eat something in a package. And it makes it really important that you know what is written on your package. A lot of times you have codes, a lot of times you have words. Some words are even worse than some codes because in those words you see very, very complicated or coveted terminologies for ingredients that you may not want to know. So by the time you just see it the way it is presented, they bear such fanciful, lovely, attractive names. But believe me, you may not want to know what they actually mean. So on this module, we are going to talk about food coding, labels, and additives. As parents who are out and determined to get the best for their children, to get the best into and out of their children, it's very important that you learn what each code stands for. Yes, we may not exhaust the codes, but we will talk about the basic ones that would potentially interfere with the health of your children. Fedes, thank you for joining us. And in the following module, we are going to talk about nutritional supplement guideline. Nutritional supplements are one of those components that sometimes children, neurodivergent children, may not just do without. At some point, due to some peculiar situations like, let's say, picky eating or nutrient deficiency presenting maybe as pica, or maybe mitochondrial dysfunction, or something that is clearly visible in their report, you will need to supplement. You will need to add something as a supplement. But come to think of it, if you are getting a supplement that has some, how do I say, counteracting, components. Let's say you are getting a supplement that is supposed to help your child to sleep, and it's written whatever it is you want to get. I don't want to be mentioning names. And then the filler is like 60%. Or the filler is even such that it's something that your child should not have. Or the filler or whatever is with the main component could even be counteracting to some other thing that you are not supposed to be doing. So in that case, you are actually, undermining, how do I say, you are all counteracting what you ought to be achieving. Sometimes we look at the nutritional value, recommended daily value, and we have supplements that are giving us less than 20%, less than 10%. And you buy without knowing the implications of these things. You just go and buy, maybe because they are very affordable or because they are popular in your area. Because I know that in my country, a lot of supplements there are just because it's what everybody is buying. People don't even ask questions. But most importantly, with children, with neurodivergent children, there are certain forms of supplements that do not go well with their body. Let's say, for instance, things like vitamin B12, there is a form they are not supposed to be taking it. Things like folate. I know you've heard so much about folic acid, but in the form of folic acid, it is not the best for them. So aside that, there are also some supplements that have, additives that shouldn't be, they shouldn't even come in contact with. So all of these are the things you're going to be learning. They are the things you're going to be, understanding clearly how they work. Some of these things are things that you would have been doing, you would have just been doing innocently, but you don't know you are kind of, having an impact that is counter to what you really are desiring for. Temilade, are you there? Hello? Okay, I just wanted to ask, because I think you left at some point. I wanted to ask if you have anything to add to what we are saying. Why did I send that message? Okay. Yeah, send it to. Okay. I think I sent it to. No. Hello, Temilade. I couldn't. There's someone waiting for me to send this link, but I haven't been able to share it, so that's what I'm struggling with. Okay. Instagram there. Let's see if I can share it with Brain. Hello. Welcome, Abe Ogunjimi. Good to see you. Just a minute. So tonight we are talking about nutrition for the neurodivergent. We are saying, Abe, welcome. So we are saying it is not like regular nutrition. It is the kind of nutrition that requires proper, thank you, it's the kind of nutrition that requires proper assessment and proper support. Thank you, Abe, for following us. So in this type of nutrition, you need to analyze the situation, identify the root cause. I told a story about a child that continued having relaxant for years, and it happened that it was, causing extra problem. Hardcore, good to see you. It was causing extra challenges for the child, even though it was the only thing they were treating. They were just looking at the symptoms and trying to work on the symptoms without knowing that there are inflammations, there are gut challenges, there were several issues that were identified through testing at the end of the day. So this is what we are saying. We are saying that in this course, we are going to look at so many ways to identify. We will look at functional nutrition, the basics of functional nutrition. And we're also looking at the foundations of biomedical intervention. Everybody around the circle of neurodivergent children will already have appreciated what functional biomedical intervention can do for them. A lot of the intervention that produce real results with them is actually biomedical. Biomedical in the sense that you capitalize on natural things around you to bring relief to your child. So if you're looking at this, you find out that these are like laying foundation on how you can support your child. And then there will be the food coding, labeling, and additives. So on this module, you are going to look at the food code. Food code, like I said, is not like coding like laptop or internet coding. Is coding that we see on our food labels. Sometimes you just see E45 or E39 or whatever code is there. It is very important that as a parent, as a caregiver, you should know what these codes represent, because these codes are going to give you an idea of what exactly is in that food. A lot of times they are not what they seem like. You just see them scribbled somewhere. Sometimes they are tiny, sometimes they are the same, but just because you don't know them, it kind of doesn't mean much to you. But knowing the basics of functional nutrition, you would have been able to identify some root cause, some organic acids, some inborn errors of metabolism, some allergies in your child, and it becomes very important that you know whatever goes into their mouth. It is not enough to say, I don't use anything in package anymore. Yes, it's an option, but a lot of times it is not absolute. There has to be situations where you will be compelled to use something in a package. And this is me telling you from the point of a food technologist that not everything in a package is bad, but you just need to know what is in that package. Sometimes they may be really good for your child, but because you don't know what is in it, you are just afraid of everything in a package. Yes, sometimes in food preservation is either by modifying temperature or by adding chemical or by modifying moisture content. But in all of this, you need to know what is in there. By the time you know what is in there, you may even find out that you may not, absolutely avoid all of them, or you should just identify those that you really need to avoid. But the best approach to all of this is to be aware. Knowledge, knowledge, and knowledge. As long as you know what is obtainable, you are no longer just afraid of what you don't know, or, restricting yourself because of what you do not know. So it gives you both freedom and also, expanding your choices. Because believe me, there's no way that at some point you may not require something that's in a package. And it can be the other way around. It can swing in both ways. It can be that you are fearing what you should not fear, or that you are not fearing what you should fear. So what is the stopgap? The stopgap is just knowledge. As long as you know what is in there, you will know when or why to have them. Now there's going to be nutritional supplement guide, where we will teach you the right kind of nutrients, the right kind of supplement form that hello.
How are you? Oh my god, I like your effect. It's cute.
I am good. Darcy, they say you have things that might be uncomfortable.
Oh, it's because she was just blowing bubbles and putting her lip seal on.
What is it about?
Yeah, well, she's not doing nothing. It's just because I'm
Oh, because of the cookie man, the gingerbread man.
yes, the gingerbread, because I'm going to bed in a minute.
Oh, that's
That's all.
okay. That's okay. What are you guys talking about tonight?
Um, not really. Just what we've done today, what we're doing tomorrow, and getting fed up because no one was accepting us.
Okay.
You?
Well, I'm a nutritionist and I basically work with neurodivergent people. So
Okay.
I am just talking about a course that we are bringing up that is going to teach about basics of biomedical intervention and how to navigate the allergen-free diet and
Okay.
food coding, like those codes you see on the labels of your food.
Yes.
A lot of people don't really know what they mean, or if they should avoid what they actually mean, or if they shouldn't.
Right.
Then
Okay.
supplement guide is teaching about neurodivergent children shouldn't take certain types of supplement, things like cyanocobalamin, like vitamin B12.
Right. Yeah, because it makes them about
yeah, they should actually have it as methylcobalamin so that it can supply the methyl group that sometimes might be an issue with them. And then things like folic acid is not the right one for them. They should actually have it as folate so it can come in as the natural form. So yeah, it's basically going to just support parents on making the right nutritional choices, knowing the right kind of supplements, and knowing the right kind of reading the labels in the grocery shopping. Yeah,
doing a good job to help people.
yeah, basically. Kelly, how are you tonight?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I see you were smiling. What do you find interesting in what I was saying?
It's just my chat.
Pardon?
It's just my chat. The people that are commenting in my chat.
Oh, okay. I see.
I'm
I see.
laughing at you.
Okay, that's fine. Darcy, I can't see the last of it. I just see DAC.
Darcy.
Okay, Darcy. How are you tonight?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. What's up with you? What do you do yourself?
What do I do?
I mean, like, what do you, I won't say like, what do you sell? I mean, what do you project on TikTok? What's your message? Yeah.
TikTok, I make friends.
Okay, I see. Okay. I see you inviting me to follow you. I will follow you now. Yeah.
Hi, Toxic. How are you?
Okay, ladies.
Yes.
Sarah, okay, okay, I see now. Just follow you guys. And it's a lovely evening you're having.
Yes, I'm going to bed in a minute.
Okay.
I am toxic, so I'm going to bed. That's why I've got gingerbread filter on. Why?
Is there a way you can drop me? Because I think I would have to go back to my people.
If you tap on the bottom where it says host,
Yes.
and it has a little door with an arrow. There's a little arrow, a box and that arrow.
Yeah.
If you press that, it will disconnect you from us.
Oh, okay. It was nice meeting you. I see the disconnect now. So see you around.
Bye.
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 Yeah. So tonight we are still talking nutrition. Pretty me. Hi. Sorry, I went to. Oh, sorry. I was away. Pretty me. Mary. Mary, sorry, I was away. Frolicking, whatever that means. But yeah, I was away meeting new friends. So tonight we are still talking about the nutrition for neurodivergent children. I do not have the banner over me, but yeah, it's something we are really working on. Then, aside navigating allergen-free diets, we are, hi Mary, hey Mary, like we used to say. Hey Mary, do you want to join me, please? Hello Mary, Almond 700. Thank you for dropping by. Please click the like button and send me a heart me so we can be team members. So the next module is not just talking about allergy, it's going to be talking about special diets for neurodivergent children. You know, there is a difference between allergy and there's a difference there's a difference between allergy and the real diet that really just supports the neurological system. Hey, Mary. Mary, you're here. Say something. I think I already invited you. Okay, I think you're gone. So, Almond, are you there? Okay. So, there's a big difference between just allergy-friendly diets, and then there is also this basic requirements, diets that are required for neurodivergent children. So, in this case, we are going to be looking at things that maybe affect them a lot: oxalates, salicylates, things like gut healing, things that we have seen a whole lot of this in their medical tests that warrant a kind of dietary modification. We have things like specific carbohydrate diet. We have things like diets that support um maybe organic acid findings. Maybe you will see a child that has high oxalate level, and you want to modify the diet such that you wouldn't provide foods that contain a whole lot of oxalates. So these are the kind of diets you see in neurodivergent children. It is not at all like weight diet or restrictive diet or anything like that. They are just diets that capture. Wale Jesukoya, thank you for dropping by, Mr. Wale. So in these children, you get to see a lot of conditions that will warrant, modifying their diet to suit what you have seen in their medical tests. So on one child, I saw that this child was not digesting certain types of protein. So the diet of this child was drawn so that these proteins will not be present in that food, that the food he eats would contain as little protein as possible, while supplying him with as much carbs as possible, because the same child is also having signs of mitochondrial dysfunction. And in this case, you have to constantly supply energy. You have to constantly supply energy to the body, because the rate at which the body is converting food to energy is very slow. So for you to maintain, glycemic index, glucose level, sorry, for you to maintain a good glucose level, you have to ensure that this food is supplied at regular intervals. So those are the kind of diets we are looking at for children with neurodivergence conditions. Cha-cha, good evening, Cha-cha. Good to see you. And then we will also look at insights into laboratory assessments. Don't forget, the target is that at the end of this process, you as a parent should be, hey stylist, thank you for joining us. I like your hair already. So the target is that at the end of this process, as a parent, as a caregiver, you should be able to actually determine the kind of foods that suits your own child, because all of these things are very peculiar to each child. So by the time you look at insights into laboratory assessment, you will be able to see, to read your own lab test, read your child's lab test, and say, look, because of what this that I saw in the lab, the child cannot take this kind of food. And you'll be able to say, because of this that I saw in the test, the child should be able to take this type of food. So you won't just be relying on somebody to say, give the, and then like what I do with many of my clients is that if the person is maybe out or shopping or something, they can always reach out and be like, can I get this? Is this okay for my child? So instead of doing all those things, you should be able to determine, you should be able to make that choice, you should be able to, offer that advice and be able to say, look, I know that this is right or this is wrong based on your test result. I bet that's fanciful, that's beautiful. It should be a goal for everyone to attain. So we are also going to look at support for nutrients diversity. In support for nutrient diversity, we are going to look at how everyone is different and how their support is different. So in this module, we will look at nutritional support strategies, biomedical support techniques, regenerative medicine role, and social support impact. We are looking at support for nutrient diversity is, thank you Umar Mosud, thank you so much. So in nutrient diversity strategies, you are going to look at understanding the fundamental principles of practical applications of enhancing nutrient diversity in their diets. And you are going to also look at regenerative medicine. Regenerative medicine is, in fact, offering some form of hope for parents with neurodivergent conditions. A lot of researches are coming up, a lot of people are getting relief. It might not be as magical as you may want, but believe me, it is worth, trying. Just as they are so neurodivergent, so will be their responses. So it's something that is worth trying and has brought a lot of hope for many families. So we are going to look at practical tips for nutrient diversity, where you will look at rotating your food, gradual introduction, flavor boost, strategic planning. A lot of things will go in to learn how the neurodivergent child would need nutritional diversity to thrive. Don't forget, diversity is like a key element when it comes to nutrients, when it comes to nutrition. And then we are also looking at integrating biomedical and nutritional support. Ali Shak, good to see you. I think you have even left. So when you learn to integrate biomedical and nutritional support, you are supporting the body holistically. And then we will not forget social support system for families. Yeah, when we are done with this module, we will also at the end of the day look at strategies and resources. In our resources, we will give you how you can make a meal plan, how you can provide the kind of support your own child will need, how you can use your knowledge of diet, your knowledge of reading the label, your knowledge of interpreting medical tests to create your own child's support plan. So you are going to be able to utilize everything you know to support your own word, to support your own child. So in this process, you are learning everything that is required of you to be able to provide that nutritional support to yourself, your family, and people around you, which is priceless. Very, very priceless, because like I tell people all the time, knowledge is like a bedrock of action, because if you are performing an action, Cathy Bullock, thank you for joining us. If you are performing an action that you do not know why you are doing it, there is tendency that you get distracted, you can get, disenfranchised, you can just lose interest. But when you know why you are doing this, the outcome, the strategy, and ultimately the purpose, it gives you that push, it gives you that, that determination. It helps you to understand and, put your all to achieve that purpose. So if we are looking at you being able to support not just your child with special needs, but you're going to support all the siblings, you are going to support your family, you're going to support your, not your immediate, but also your extended family. Lynn, welcome to our life, Lynn. So when you have that power, when you have that knowledge, when you have that ability, it gives you a different level of confidence. It gives you a different level of peace, knowing that, look, I've got this. I have got this. This is not about, moving around, searching for who or searching for what to do. This, you have the equipment, you have the tools, you have all you need to make it happen. I understand it can be overwhelming at times. This is a collection of years of studies, years of both classroom experience, professional experience, and lived experience. So what we have here is a bunch of, experiences bundled together to offer you. You don't have to have studied nutrition for 12 years like me. You don't have, did I say 12 years? Like 20 years. You don't have to have studied food technology, human nutrition, and public health. You don't have to have, supported a child with autism for 14 years plus. You don't have to have done all those, but you will get all the experiences bundled together. Prajit, Prajit Singh, thank you for joining us. So by the time you get hold of this course, you will be in a very good position to offer this support to your child, to your family, to people around you, knowing that you are getting it from the best. You are getting an accumulation of so many things jumbled together to give you the best in a concise form. So once again, I am saying this course is something that you need if you are really determined to support a child with special needs. You will learn the basics of functional nutrition. You will learn the foundations of biomedical intervention. You will learn how to navigate allergen-free diets, hypoallergenic diets. You will learn how to read your labels, food coding, labels, and additives. These are all the things you're going to learn. Nutritional supplementation is a form of, is going to teach you the kind of supplements that are best for them. You really don't have to dilly-dally. You don't have to keep guessing or not knowing what is right. A lot of times I have seen parents buying very expensive, supplements only to find out that it's not the best for their children, either because of the contents or because of the requirements of the child. And for you to now know this, you are going to be learning, having insights into laboratory testing. So these insights into laboratory testing is going to help you to be able to identify the best type of nutritional supplement that is suitable for your own child. The whole message of this is that our children are unique. Every single one of them is unique. And by the time you look at the tests, how we interpret the test, how we identify their needs, you will see that Their uniqueness is not on this level. They are so unique that you just have to know what you're doing to be able to support them efficiently. And for you to know what you're doing, you need this type of guide. You definitely need these guys. It's not a it's not a chicken job. It's not something that you just close your eyes and do. In my language, they say it's not a dance you dance with snuff in your palm, meaning that it requires a great deal from you as a carer to understand their needs. Otherwise, you'll be spending so much money gathering all professionals. You'll be spending so much money, you know, hitting and missing on supplements. You'll be spending so much time trying to figure out what works or what doesn't work. How about you just learn it? How about you just learn how to identify what is working and what is not working? In that case, you hit it once and you get it. Like I said before, these children are like locks, and you need to find each one of them needs a key. As a parent, as a professional, as a caregiver, you need to have a key to every child for you to be able to unlock them. Some find their keys early on, some do not find their keys until later in life. Some may never find their own keys. That's the reality of the situation. Some may find their keys halfway down. Some may find their key when they are very old and worn out. And some, unfortunately, will remain locked till the end of their time. But the truth is, if you go out early, they say if you search for the black goat when the sun is still shining. NG lifestyle, I don't know what we are doing with you. They say you look for the black goat while the sun shines. And if you do that, my friends, you will be able to find your own child's key and unlock your child as early as possible. And how do you do that? You do that if you know the basics of functional nutrition, the foundations of medical intervention, how to navigate allergy, how to read your food labels, and how to support your child with nutritional supplements, the right ones. Also, how to modify their diet to support their special identified needs. And by knowing how to read their laboratory assessments, how to read their tests. If you learn how to read their tests, yeah. Chidex. Is it the Chidex I know? Good to see you. Not Susan Gregor. Not Susan Gregor. Hello, good to see you. So if you know all of this, how to interpret the medical test, how to support the nutrient diversity, how is it that you can support the nutrient diversity? We are also talking about other things that you can do to support that nutrient diversity. And there we talked about regenerative medicine. We talked about community support, social support for families. And in our strategies and resources, you are going to see a lot of resources that will help you to take your first step. It's encompassing, it is in depth, it is phenomenal. So, dear people on Facebook, people on YouTube, people on TikTok, we will encourage you to please grab this because it's not going to last forever. And this is just a chance. Google is not going to show you these things. ChatGPT is not going to show you. This is a collection of experiences, both academic, lived, and work experience for over how many years? If I should add my academic study, we should be looking at 20 years of accumulated experience. Luis dos Santos, thank you for dropping by. So, everyone, we will encourage you to subscribe to this. Our flyer will be on from tomorrow, and now you know what to expect. We would want you to be anxious. I mean, you should want to know what is in there. If I were you, I would want to know what is in there, and I would want to be part of those that will benefit from it. Yeah, it's been a fairly long night, and we are already capping up. Thanks everyone who has joined us. This is Brain Foods. We support neurodivergent individuals with holistic nutrition approach. What we spoke about tonight is a novel approach that would empower parents, empower caregivers, empower everyone who supports these children on the best approaches to give them the very best in terms of their health. When they are healthy, a lot of the symptoms just go away. Talk about being restless, it could be something going on in their guts. Talk about having sleepless nights, it could be something going on in their guts. And don't forget, if a child is not sleeping well, there is tendency that the next day they are lethargic, they are hyperactive, they are not focused, they are everywhere. So some of these things are interrelated, they are interconnected. So how about you talk about channeling your strategy to the root cause? When it is the root cause, you realize that when you kill the roots, you could end up killing like all the branches. You're not just killing one branch. Let me tell you what targeted medicine does is that it tries to target just a branch like this. But functional medicine, it targets a branch like this. Okay, they see a child is having hyperactivity and they just want to regulate the dopamine and the serotonin using, you know what. But functional medicine comes and targets here. Functional medicine comes and targets here, and by the end of the day, all these are gone. All these are taken care of. So, dear friends, listeners, everyone on this live, thank you again for joining me, and we'll keep updating you on the progress. We will definitely inform you as time goes. Temilade Abubakante. Have a good evening, viewers on YouTube. It's been a quiet one today too there. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you, TikTok family. We'll see you again. Space. Bye. Sorry, I forgot.